Greg Caggiano here at the Strauss Mansion for our latest vlog episode. Unlike the last one, it is not nice, crisp, and cool. It's actually about 90 degrees right now, so no flannel. But today I wanted to talk about something that has nothing to do with the Strauss Mansion, because I feel like almost every episode has become repetitive. So I want to talk about a place in New Hope, Pennsylvania. I was just there yesterday, and it brought back a lot of memories. I go every 6 months or so, but for some reason this one just brought up some memories of a place that I had a chance to investigate back in 2014 and didn't. I was with Haunted Travels, my friend Jake Reed and I. We were basically going around town looking for haunted places. New Hope is supposed to be one of the most haunted towns on the whole East Coast, so we figured let's just walk around and see what we could find. Now, before we get to the shop in question, I'll take you through our day. We went into the Logan Inn, which is in every haunted tour guide, every haunted book for Pennsylvania that is in existence. Is one of the most haunted hotels in the country, and that may be. We went in and we asked if we could investigate. Didn't have to be right then and there, it was any time. We just wanted to know if we could investigate at some point. And they said yes, but we had to pay the cost of a room for a night, which was about $250 at the time. So we did not investigate. We walked out. I was kind of annoyed by that. I actually refused to eat there for many years, and actually ate there yesterday, and the food was great. So I guess I just screwed myself over. Anyway, we went walking around town. We went into this antique store called the Angel's Light, which was on Mechanic Street. It's one of those, the pink and purple building on Mechanic Street. I mean, you cannot miss it. So we went in there, and the owner was very approachable, very nice, and we said, is this place haunted? And he said, yes, it is. And he pulled out a guide. There, of course, they're in the town's, walking tour, haunted walking tour. And we told him, well, we're paranormal investigators. We're interested in maybe coming back here. So he says, well, do you have your equipment with you now? And I said, yes, it was in my car. He says, well, why don't you go get it? I'll close up the shop, and you can walk around and investigate. So that was really awesome of him to do. Of course, the car was like a mile away, so we walked all the way back to the car, got the equipment, came back. He was telling us the history of the house. It was owned by a painter named Joseph Pickett, who you probably have never heard of him. I had never heard of him up until then, but he's kind of a famous folk artist, I guess, in the Pennsylvania area. And something about his wife threw out all his paintings after he died, or most of his paintings, thinking they were worth nothing, and there ended up being some kind of revival of him in the 1900s or something, and now they're worth tons of money. So we investigated in there. Didn't get too much. There was an interesting response up in one of the rooms. It was Pickett's office, actually, his studio, and we went in there and we said, what room is this? Something to that effect, and the response was office. And we didn't know that. The owner, his name was Jim, he said, oh, this was Pickett's office. So we made contact with him. That episode's up on Haunted Travels. That was our old web series, 2013 to 2015. That's up there. But then the main point of the story is when we were done investigating Angel's Light, we asked him if there was any other place that we could check out. And he says, yeah, right down the street, almost across the street, really, was a place called Teardrop Memories. Now, walking past this building, you would have no idea what's inside. It's this big white building. Upstairs, it's an office. Downstairs, there's a vintage clothing shop in the front, and in the back, overlooking the canal, is the shop Teardrop Memories. Now, we had walked past it, didn't give it a second thought. You'd have no idea of what's inside. It's just this unassuming building. And he said, just go check that out. He said, maybe he'll let you investigate, maybe he won't, but tell him Jim sent you, and he'll probably let you investigate. So we said, sure. We go down there, and the thing that kind of gave it away what was inside was this big sign next to Teardrop Memories that said Postmortem Gallery. Now, I mean, what else could that mean besides pictures of dead people? Now, I lecture at Brookdale. I teach a class on death traditions, death rituals in the Victorian era, so the pictures don't really bother me because that's a main part of the class I teach. But when you go inside and you see a disinterred coffin, an embalming table, embalming equipment from the 1800s, post-mortem pictures everywhere, paintings, mourning paintings that were meant to, I guess, give comfort to the deceased. Horrifying by today's standards. Taxidermied animals everywhere, and bird cages, for whatever reason, bird cages. And this picture, this terrifying painting of these two people, I guess it was a husband and wife, they were dead, and like these black clothed, robed figures, like Grim Reaper figures, were like dragging them away with like rope, and it just bothered us. Now, we know we do the ghost hunting stuff, and we don't get bothered by that. But when you're doing, when it comes to funeral homes and stuff, I can't do funeral homes. I know nobody likes going to a funeral home, but I just have this terrible morbid fear. So this was kind of like kicking up all of this residue of being surrounded by death memorabilia. So we walk in and we were talking to the guy. I think his name was Greg too, and we told him where we came from, and he said, "Well, I don't believe in any ghosts, but feel free to take out your equipment and walk around." He says, "Why don't you walk around first, check it out, and then if you want to investigate, go for it." So we walked around, and we were just looking at each other, Jake and I, like, I can't stay in here. I know it's a tourist attraction. People come from all over. I mean, how many shops are there where you could buy, vats that used to store people's blood after it got drained out of their body and replaced with embalming fluid? I mean, if you want to buy something like that, where the hell else are you going to find it? And, I mean, the guy was great. He was a character. Quirky, odd, serious, though. I don't think he smiled the whole time. He was just very into what he was doing. And then we came back and we said that we didn't want to investigate. We were fascinated, but we would not take him up on his kindness of letting us investigate. And he said, "Can I ask you a question?" And I said, "Sure." And he says, "Are you religious?" And I said, "No." He said, "Yes, you are." He said, "What you do is a religion." He says, "I don't believe in ghosts, but what you do, you are practicing a religion." And when I first heard that, I was just like, all right, whatever. And over the years, I've thought about that more and more. I'm not religious. I was at one point. Not anymore. I still believe in something out there, of course. I mean, we ghost hunt, of course. That the whole point of that is to seek something. And I thought about and how he said it. I mean, I wish I could have recorded that. Just his voice, his delivery of the whole thing. And he was dead serious. And I thought about that, and maybe it is true. What is religion? We have faith that there is something out there, and we are seeking answers, and hopefully when we die, we will realize that what we've been seeking our whole life is true. I mean, that's every religion in the book. And, well, what's paranormal investigating? We have faith that there are ghosts. I mean, we've captured evidence, but still, the skeptic in you goes, well, what if all the evidence isn't real? And it's just human error or a mistake or whatever. And we hope that when we die, there will be something else out there. And, of course, none of us know for sure, because none of us have died and come back to life. So it was very interesting. And he talked about his profession and all that. And just an amazing guy. A guy that I couldn't wait to get away from at the time, because I was just, again, creeped out by the atmosphere. The whole thing was just nauseating, really. And about a year went by, and I was going back to New Hope, and I figured, well, let me go in there again. I'll bring my equipment. He'll remember me. He'll let me in. And unfortunately, the place was closed. All the stuff was still in, but it was closed down. I found out that he was very sick. I actually talked to someone he knows very well, former New Hope shop owner, just last week, and he's sick. I hope he's doing well. I hope he's doing better, but he is sick and not well enough to run the shop. And that's when I realized we missed that chance. We messed up. Because even though we were so creeped out by it, we should have just did it. It would have been great content for the web series. I mean, how many videos on there, on YouTube, would have been filmed in a place like that? You can go to Teardrop Memories online. They have an online store. I think everything that was for sale in their shop is online now, so that's cool. So you can check out everything I'm talking about right now. But we messed up. We should have did it. We didn't, and by the time I wasn't creeped out by it, it was too late. Place is now closed altogether. Again, I was there yesterday, and it is now a bar. It's now a bar and restaurant. Hasn't opened yet. I looked inside. It looks very nice. New floor, a nice bar in there, tables and whatnot. When I think of what was kept in that room, and now it's going to be a place where people are eating. Boy. But anyway, that's my reminiscence of Teardrop Memories. I mean, there's a love affair online, people, with this shop, because it is truly a one-of-a-kind place. And this was a guy who, spiritually, we did not agree with each other at all. But he was so understanding and accommodating. Like, I don't believe in what you do, but you should keep doing it, because you are trying to seek something and find something. And that really resonated with me. There's not a lot of that in the world today, where it's like, we disagree and then we still want to talk about it. Usually we disagree and people curse each other out and they go their separate ways. But no, this guy, we got into a full philosophical discussion, not agreeing at all. But it was nice, because I was hearing where he was coming from. And when you work in the field like that, dealing with embalming bodies and working with the dead and now selling the tools, that line of work might not allow you to believe in ghosts, because when you're working with the body, you don't want to be thinking about spirit there. You want to just do your job and do it as best as you can. So those are my memories of Teardrop Memories, New Hope, Pennsylvania. It's on Mechanic Street. You can go check out the building now. It's a restaurant. Nothing against the restaurant at all. Again, it hasn't opened, and nothing against that business at all. I was really amused that it's now a bar is now in that place. Anyway, Greg Caggiano for Ghosts on the Coast latest vlog. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.